Welcome to week 2 of the Tech Chase Smash Ultimate League presented by Aura Gaming. I am Craig here with Scooter bringing you the action live here on Twitch. The first match we have on stream tonight, the O2 Kettering University Bulldogs try and take down the Oakland University Golden Grizzlies, who started out strong last week. Coached by first-year coach Carl Leone, the optimistic Oakland team is going to try to turn their 2-0 record into 3-0 here shortly. This team, they have a charming degree of confidence to them. Last week from Broly self-damaging himself at the armistice period to start matches, to Warblenerfer teabagging his way to taking 11 stocks in their 2-0 start last week. But on the other side, Kettering University may be stronger than their 0-2 record implies, since their week 1 opponents are considered amongst the best in the league in CMU and Davenport. So on paper, OU looks like the stronger team. But what do you think we should look out for in this one, Scooter?
Definitely think, like you said, Kettering's one of the teams to keep an eye out for, because even though they had that rough start, like you mentioned, a lot of their members still contributed a lot during those matches, even though they ended in losses. So they're definitely looking to put up the biggest fight that they can. Sacred Tie is definitely one of the players, in my opinion, to keep an eye out for, based on how they did during that first week, taking 7 stocks through their play. So there's definitely a lot to keep an eye out for on their side. What do you think about the OU team's prospect for this week?
I think definitely watch out for Warblenerfer. He was the MVP in their performance last week. His very, very strong Ken. He ended up going a 1.8 stock take and stock lost average. So is positive in the plus minus here and is leading his team when it comes to the stat category. But like a lot of their other players are also really strong and a lot to look out for as well. Saturn is the only player last week who did not make an appearance, but he is a really strong player in and of himself, the Lucas senior there at Oakland. So going back to Kettering side, yes, taking a look at the stats from last week, Sacred Tie did have the strongest performance. His Joker did come out strong, was the only player on his team to go have a positive stock take and stock loss average.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of the other members definitely going to be hoping to pick up some of that slack this week and prove themselves to be strong competitors against OU, so they're definitely going to have to figure out how they're going to manage that. And a lot of that in crew battles comes down to figuring out when to send out each player, because it's definitely a battle of counter picks in this kind of format, because normally you're just stuck with whatever matchup you have. But in a crew battle, after the first matchup, you always have the chance to pick a matchup that's more favorable and try to go to a stage that'll benefit your players even more. So Kettering's definitely going to have to take full advantage of the crew battle format this week.
Yeah, when it comes to these crew battles, it's never a better time to have multiple characters, to have a good range of skills you can have to counter the other team. I think that's where that meta really comes in strong in this gameplay, is the counter picking meta. When it comes to regular tournaments, regular Smash tournaments, and one-on-one, you don't see it too much. A lot of times players will stick to their main. Sometimes you'll see them pull out their pocket characters, but the counter-picking game is really strong here. That match is going to begin here shortly. We're going to get word on who their starters are, and when we find out, we'll bring that to you as soon as we can. But a little bit later in the night, after match 1, we will have another match on here. The Central Michigan University Chippewas will be taking on the Concordia University Ann Arbor Cardinals. That should be a good one as well. Last week, Yoder got our hypest clip of the week in an awesome pull, essentially a 0-to-death combo he pulled out from his Luigi. Ended up getting tweeted, he tweeted out, mentioned, oh my gosh, how am I forgetting the name of the very well-known...
Elegant.
Elegant. Yeah, Elegant. And ended up getting a reply from him saying, hey, nice combo. Love the taunting in between as well. So looking forward to seeing Yoder and the Concordia crew here up shortly.
All right.
Speaking of Saturn, the one who did not end up playing at all last week, he is going to be the starter for Oakland tonight. We just confirmed. And starting on the other side for Kettering, we are looking at, I believe, do we say Baltic?
I'm
sorry.
That would be Swallow F, the Olimar main.
All right. So again, on paper, we didn't get to see Saturn play, so he doesn't have any statistics to back him up. Swallow last week ended up taking 3 stocks and lost all 6 of his So is at a is a point 0.5 essentially KDR last week. But Saturn coming out, going to have to prove himself. Not looking good, not looking bad. Really making his first appearance as a starter here tonight for OU.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to have to figure out how to work around the Pikmin that's going to be coming at him, because Olimar is definitely one of those tricky matchups if you have a character that can't really poke in. Fortunately for Lucas, he does have the side B that he can work with, and he does have the Zera as well, so he does have options. But if you let those Pikmin stick to you, they're just going to rack up so much damage if you don't take care of them. So Baltic is, or not Baltic, Swala F is definitely going to be looking for openings created by those Pikmin getting lashed onto him.
Yeah, and I think that when you play Lucas, you're used to being able to pull that magnet out and to be able to absorb and really counter anything that comes at you for a projectile. But hey, newsflash, Pikmin aren't any sort of energy projectile. Those things will go straight through you. So if that is really your only way to counter some projectiles that are coming at you, you're going to be in trouble. That said, Saturn, pretty high caliber player in and of himself. So I don't think he's going to have trouble really navigating it. Might be a little bit different, but we're going to get going here to the stream. Game one is, the match of the first match tonight is starting here shortly. Turns out we have another minute still. Thank you, Winrow.
The joys of getting to figure out these matchups on the fly. That's definitely something that I always look forward to in watching these kinds of events, just watching how the different players are able to adapt to these situations. So hopefully both of them will come out swinging this game one.
Yep. So yeah.
What about the offstage game? Who do you think is going to have the advantage in that situation between Olimar and Lucas?
I think Lucas. I think that Olimar, once you get those Pikmins chucked, there's not too much you can do when it comes to defending yourself when recovering. And his recovery very slow, very predictable, and Lucas really maneuverable. One of those characters that has really good air mobility and really good aerials, going to end up putting a lot of pressure on it. So we are cutting right to the action now. Saturn versus Swala F here. Kettering University versus Oakland University. Tech Chase Week 2. Here we go.
Yep, and right off the bat, we see Saturn just immediately trying to poke in with those side Bs, but the Pikmin, as they're being thrown, actually have an active hitbox, so the side B ends up interacting with that, so it's definitely difficult for him to find the pokes that he wants.
Yep, doing a good job putting the pressure off him off stage. A lot of those PK's fires coming out, and then a strong down smash just to really make it tough for him to recover. Goes off stage with the PK Thunder and decides to bail out on him. That's one thing I love about that attack. You can throw it out there as a ledge guard. Ideally not if you don't have a destination for it while you're floating in the air. But if you do it right there, you can chase him down, and if you're going to miss, hey, just come and hit yourself with it, and you're back into safety, or you're putting a real damaging hit on it if they make a mistake.
Yeah, but F definitely looking to put on some damage right here with that F smash, sending Saturn flying. So Saturn's definitely got to be careful because Olimar can kill him pretty early just because of the weight that he has.
Jumps over with the platform, using that snake just to put a little bit of distance between him and Swala F. Doing a good job with the spacing. I love the patience you see. Good amount of short hopping there. Really finding out what he's going to do and calculating it before he makes a move. But making a little bit of a mistake there. He's going to find himself getting hit with a down smash. First stock is going to be dropped by Saturn in this one.
Yeah, you got to be careful that you don't get too antsy against Olimar trying to find that kill, because a lot of his smash attacks do come out really quick, so you have to be careful in those kind of situations.
I'm chasing him off with the PK Thunder. Deciding not to really go off stage with Lucas in the chase, and I think that is the safer, the smarter move. You have that PK Thunder that can do a good job of really being annoying, but it's really also not a kill move. You're not going to take stocks with it at least as early as you'd like to.
Yeah, but as long as you got that noggin, you can always just hit him in the tech chase on the platforms to get those up airs. So definitely finding ways on stage at least to get those kills.
dancing around each other in the center of the stage here. Shields out, catches him with a PK Thunder, decides to cancel the PK freeze early, which would have been smart. He would have been in trouble if he did not. Chasing him down. There goes the snake again into a forward air. A lot of pressure. A good down smash to 2-frame, and there goes stock number 2. What a turnaround from losing his first one to being up quite a bit in this one. Saturn has the lead.
Yeah, that's got to be scary as Olmar because you have a slow recovery, so Lucas is going to have no problem with that huge hitbox to be able to stop you from getting to that ledge. So this could definitely be a concern for Swalla F on his final stock here.
Using the PK Thunder to cancel out and block the Pikmin that's coming at him. Gets him with the berry, chases him down fast, but that whistle stopping his downward trajectory, keeping him in a more favorable position than he definitely would have been. And what a snipe!
Man, fortunately, that electric Pikmin not really going to be able to do much to prevent that Thunder from reaching him to get that hit either. So Saturn definitely showing up strong here in his first showing in the crew battles.
He's got the yellow Pikmin and the purple Pikmin out with him. The purple Pikmin is definitely one he's going to want to keep handy in a situation like this. The red and the yellow can put some damage on, but not going to be doing much when it comes to killing. Chucking them all as he returns to stage. The freeze, and he gets it and across the stage, all the way through the other side of the blast zone. He is going to finish that one out. Saturn takes 2 stocks, or 3 stocks. Swalla only takes 1.
Yeah, and that's going to be a good start for the team of Oakland University, being able to hold on to 2 stocks for their first player. So Saturn definitely coming in and making the showing that he wanted to make a strong name for himself going into this second week.
Yeah, let's take a look here and see who else is up for Kettering University. Swalla F goes down. All 3 stocks are gone for him and his Alamar. They have left remaining Sacred Tie and his Joker, Baltic and his Samus, Brick and his Lucina, and Smooshy. And I believe he's a Velkin main. I don't know for sure. Feel free to correct me. Throw it in the chat if you are fully aware of who Smooshy mains, because that is one I don't quite recognize.
Yeah, unfortunately. So as far as the counter picks go, it's definitely going to be interesting to see who they go to. I don't think Baltic would be the one that they would want, because that PK Magnet being able to absorb the charge shots would definitely shut down a lot of the game plan that Samus normally has. So who do you think Kettering would be looking to send in here for the counter pick?
Well, back to that. So it absorbs the charge shots, but it also absorbs the missiles, right?
If they explode on a platform or a wall, I think I'd have to double check as far as
if
the
it hits
missile
him,
itself.
doesn't. Yeah. Okay. I don't know for sure on that one either. It's been a while since Alamar has been played quite a bit. I think there was a patch like a year and a half ago. I forgot which one it was. I remember it was right around Smash's Flesh, actually. I don't know why I remember that, but the one that nerfed Alamar a little bit, and since then you don't see him as often. But going back to counter picks, I think I almost think you just send out Sacred Tie, not only because I think Joker has a pretty even matchup, a pretty decent matchup with Elmar, but when you lose your first game like that, pretty strong, and you're down 2 stocks, you almost just want to send out your best player, your strongest player, to kind of stop any sort of bleeding there is and really keep the confidence and keep everything going strong. If he can. And yeah, just found out that is actually who they're going to be sending out. So what do you think about this matchup?
Definitely a fun matchup for Joker, because Sacred Tie gets to jump off stage with Joker, use the down guns, because anytime Lucas has to recover, he's just a sitting duck. So you get to go down there, or above him actually, and just shoot the guns downward in order to just clip him out of his recovery. So it can definitely be frustrating if Olimar is sent off stage. But as far as on stage, one of the challenges that you have to watch out for are the anti-air up smashes that Lucas has, because those have a huge hitbox.
Right. So we're going to be getting into that one here very shortly. Here we go.
Well, here we go. Game 2 of this crew battle. We got Sacred Tie coming up to the plate here with his Joker, going up against Saturn, who's Lucas has managed to save 2 of his stocks from the first game. And just
dropping off. Yep. Go ahead.
just a reminder, the game will start at 6 minutes 30 seconds, just to make sure that both players have enough time to get rid of any stocks from the previous game, and they have a clear time to start the match.
And we get to see everyone taunt continuously.
Hey, Snaky's got some things he needs to say.
Right. 2-1, and let's get to it.
Right off the bat, Saturn just poking in with these Zers and side Bs to get some good damage going here.
Wow. Yeah, it looks like the exact start to a same game plan, except he's not impeded by flying living Pikmin.
Yeah, that might be a problem for Joker, because Joker doesn't really have too much to deal with the sideways momentum that Saturn's building up here, because his side B will just end up clanking with the one that Saturn sends out, so Sacred Tide is going to have to figure out how to deal with that.
Just putting a whole lot of pressure on him with the PK Thunders, and then looping around and getting him with the Thunder on the recovery. Man, he has 78, 79, 89, 90. This is almost tied up, but the way the game has been going, it does not feel like it should be.
Yeah, I mean, he was just comboing him relentlessly there for a little bit, so for Sacred Tide to be able to find all those hits in between to be able to keep it this close is definitely good for him, but problem is you want to make sure that you get rid of that stock of Saturns before you lose your first, and there we go, Saturn making his 3 stocks worth more right now, but unfortunately losing his second stock there, so down to his final stock, so he's got to be careful with this one.
Yeah, so Saturn has done what he needs to do. He has taken 3 stocks already. He's still got 1 left, so anything he takes is almost like bonus. As long as you take more, or take as many or more as you come in with, your team is going to win. So he's doing what he needs to do. Good ledge guarding there. I really like what he's doing with the PK Thunders. Rollbacks, some good reads.
Yeah, just using that movement in order to bait out the options that he wants in order to be able to punish him. That is what you want to see in a player, just being able to create the situations you need, rather than relying on waiting for your opponent to create them for you.
And about half bar left of our Sen. Gonna be big if he can take this stock. But there it goes. They're down to 1 apiece. Talk about what would be big. It would be big if Saturn could turn this around and get this stock and his last one to see another match and just have the opportunity to continue this streak.
Yeah, I mean, Saturn has definitely more than paid his bills in this first set of 3 stocks that he has here, so doing everything he can to keep the stock alive to try and get that final stock, like you said, because the nice thing is, if you're able to take your opponent's final stock, the stock you're on gets a complete reset, fresh percent going into the next game, so that would be huge, especially at this high of a percent, to be able to see another opponent. Actually catches him, sends out the PK freeze, and does catch the recovery!
He's magic with that thing. I don't think I've seen in a set someone get caught, or someone catch their opponents with PK freeze as often as he has done.
Yeah, he is just relentless at this ledge here. Both Olimar and Joker not able to find the safe harbor that they need in that ledge and just getting sent to the abyss.
And yes, like you said, paying his bills and still having more to pay. Saturn stays alive after taking out 2 of Kettering's, including who is arguably their best player in their last in that last one at Sacred Tide's Joker.
Yeah, and he still has 1 more stock to work with here, so definitely not the start that Kettering was looking for coming out of that week 1. Hoping to try and make a name for themselves in this week 2, but Saturn's the one who's making the name for himself right now, and the Oakland University team.
Yeah, what I really like there was Saturn's understanding of the way Joker typically is going to play off stage. You know, one thing you said, watch out for those down guns. But Saturn was absolutely watching out for those down guns. If you notice the way he recovered, he didn't go low. He's like, hey, I'm gonna have to throw out this PK Thunder, I'm gonna do it early, and I'm gonna take a horizontal approach to the stage here. I'm not messing around with the Joker above me.
Yeah, and that was definitely a good call on his part, because it's better to be sent off high than have to recover low against Joker, and he definitely took advantage of that. And for Lucas, the challenge against recovering him is you can't really do that, because he can send that PK Thunder out anywhere he wants to, so it's hard to be able to get past that wall of projectiles that Saturn was sending out, and that PK freeze was absolutely lethal as well.
Yeah, he's gotten 2 kills with that this set, 1 in each game so far. And he's still got more to go. So we might see some PK freeze, some ice balls going through those blast zones still yet to come. But taking a look here at who's Kettering has up left, we've seen Sacred Tie, we've seen Swallow S, Baltics, Samus, Brick, and Lucina Main, and Smooshy. Again, I'm pretty sure it's Falcon. Or
The theoretical Falcon.
The theoretical Falcon. So we'll see who they decide to put out next.
And this is where it gets difficult. Looks like they're going to be sending out Brick, so hoping that the disjoints that Lucina brings to the table will be enough to be able to fight off Saturn, but the challenge is just getting close enough to be able to use those disjoints, because Saturn, both of these matches, has just been starting off strong with the side Bs, and we'll see how he starts off this Game 3 here. Kettering needing to make a move this time.
I like watching the most fun and creative ways of how am I going to kill myself when you take these two stocks. So while we're waiting here, I will remind you, if you do see something cool, if you see a hype clip, make sure to clip it and tweet it out to TechChaseGG on Twitter. We are looking at every clip sent to us, and we are going to pick which was the coolest one, which was the hypest clip, who found the coolest moments of the week, and the winner is going to get a $10 Nintendo eShop gift card. So make sure to keep your eye out for that and help by picking out some content and sending us what you think was an awesome moment you saw here in Tech Chase Week 2.
Right now, Saturn looking to try and make some more hype moments, looking for that early edge guard with these down smashes, so Rick's gonna need to be careful off stage here. Right now, those disjoints finally coming into play, knocking Saturn away, and this is what the Kettering team has been hoping for, looking for a way to just stop this momentum.
One thing I do like that Brick is doing is just using the airspeed and the mobility of Lucina, going with a lot of full hops instead of the short hop, which is what you normally see when they're going to approach. I think he's waiting for those short.
Oh no!
Dirty thunder! But I think he's waiting for those typical short hops that he's been performing with the snake, with the PK fires, and he's going above them. But now we're seeing Saturn's Lucas adapt, and he's starting to chase him up high.
Yeah, and this is one of the challenges about being on FD. You don't have platforms to easily mix up how you're approaching them, so those side Bs that Lucas can shoot off are even more difficult to maneuver around, so Rick is going to have to utilize that mobility like you were talking about to its fullest extent to get around to this wall that Saturn's putting up, and that might be the opening. Yes, it is.
Finally! Saturn goes down after taking 7 stocks. He's going to put the controller down and hand it off to one of his teammates. But wow, what a start for Oakland University.
Yeah, and that is absolutely the kind of start that you want to make for your team. Being able to knock out 2 players already and an extra stock. OU just has to be absolutely thrilled about that performance. So now the challenge is, who do you send in next in order to stop Brick?
Yeah, they got a team of players who can do pretty well. Like, Brawley is the one that performed, statistically on the lowest end last week, but a very strong player in and of himself. Spectral, I think, would be a fun one to see, just because we just see the Lucina Ditto. So, always love a good sword fight.
Yeah, I've never understand why people always harp on the Dittos like they're not a real matchup. You have to be able to know how to fight yourself if you're going to be any good at the game, so Dittos are absolutely a matchup if you ask me.
Right. I think people don't like it because they, I feel like you should be able to say, oh no, I know this character, I know what you're going to do. But then you start to get to the intricacies of, it's not just how the character plays, it's how the player plays. And if you're so used to how you do it, you're going to be surprised when someone else isn't doing it the same way. I think that's where people get caught off guard in the Dittos.
So like you were saying, it looks like they are going to send out Brawley to give him a chance to show his stuff here, and Wolf is definitely, or Roy potentially, could be one of those characters to be able to deal with Lucina, because if he decides to go with Wolf, Wolf has the laser to be able to poke in still, and the ability to kill is definitely not in short supply for that character. While on the other hand, Roy, you win in the speed game and you can match the disjoint, so that could definitely give him the edge.
I really like the Roy Lucina matchup as well from an entertaining standpoint, just because they're both got the sword characters, but it's almost like the yin and the yang. One's got the really strong neutral, one's got the stronger offstage game they can play in the air.
Yeah, so we are going to get to see how those two playstyles end up clashing here, since Broly has opted to go for Roy for this matchup. Just getting a little bit of frustration out apparently before the
yeah,
game
you know what?
start.
Let's go. I don't like that move anyway. Let's just stale it real quick.
I don't like that light on the stage either. Let's
Yes.
get rid of that as well.
Get this light out of here.
So here we go. Timer reaches 6 minutes 30 seconds, and they are off to the races here, just both rushing each other down, trying to find those openings with those nairs.
Starting off showing us the strong neutral game that you can play with Roy, getting a good rush and grab and throwing her down, getting a good down smash. Sorry, a down throw to put on some quick damage. 12% to Bricks, 54, just putting it on and continuing to put the pressure on, shielding through the dancing blade, a down throw, trying to chase him on the platform, but no doing. Did he just dangle there?
Looked like it for a moment. Yeah, on a small stage like this, I feel like that Roy might not be able to use that speed as much as he wants to, because the less room you have, the less effective speed is, so Rick definitely might be happy with the stage counter pick.
Yeah, but got to be something about it that he likes, because, I mean, it was his pick.
Absolutely, and being able to catch your opponent on that middle platform is definitely one of the things that sorties love to do on this stage. Ooh, speaking of catching your opponents, Broly just hitting hard with that F smash.
Good down tilt, chasing him down. Neutral air, jab into the forward air. Tries to get another forward air, but has to retreat back to the stage. Man, yeah, it is a small stage, but we are still seeing him use that speed to his advantage. I think that we're seeing... I think we're... Oh, I thought he was in trouble there for a second. I feel like we're seeing Brick play on his heels a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, just this relentless offense that's being thrown at him has not made it easy for him to find this stock. And unfortunately, he's not going to get the chance landing into that side B and getting sent to the blast zone. Broly just coming in, showing off what he can do here.
Yeah, that was a good call, a good read, using the side B, getting a dancing blade to cover the get up option. I really like that as a get up option from Roy Marth, Lucina. Who else? Does Crom have one of those? I don't remember.
Have it.
Crom has that too. The side B, the Fire Emblem Sword Fighters. It's a good call out if you're confident they're going to either neutral get up or they're going to roll. If they jump, you're in trouble. But
yep.
You know, if you're confident, if you got a good read on them, it works. And we saw it work well to finish that one off for Broly to win that match and continue just the good, strong performance that Oakland is putting on. The Grizzlies now have a commanding lead, because the Kettering University Bulldogs are down to their last 3 stocks, going to have their last player coming in. They can either choose from Baltic or Smooshy, and it looks like Baltic is going to be the one we're seeing, the Samus main. So we'll see if he picks Samus or decides to counterpick, but I think Samus is a good one for this matchup.
Yeah, being able to use those projectiles to try and slow down that horizontal movement could be what the Kettering team needs in order to try and start mounting a comeback, but there is definitely a lot resting on Baltic's shoulders right now, because he's got to work through not only these stocks in front of him, but if I'm not mistaken, at least 9, or is it 6 or 9 more stocks at this point between the remaining players? 9?
9 more stocks, yep.
Yep, so the 3 in front of him right now and the 6 waiting for him if he's able to survive this matchup right now.
I don't want to say it can't be done, but it's not looking so strong for Kettering at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the way Oakland University just came into that commanding lead with Saturn coming out for the first time in this event definitely put them in a strong situation. So Kettering's Baltic is definitely going to be looking to try and salvage this as best they can going into this match.
And here we go. Let's see where they counterpick to. Heading to Battlefield.
definitely a good place to go to if you're looking to try and save stocks. So this is definitely going to be Baltics to win or lose at this point.
Spinny, spinny, spinny.
Couple of Beyblades out here.
Right. We're about to get into it. This is one of those times where they're gonna have an armor says no one has to take any stock since Brawly came in strong and still has all three, but we are getting to it. Here we go.
Yeah, immediately trying to catch Broly with that drop down zero, but not able to find the connection that they need, and that gives Broly the opening they need in order to get right in and take control of the stage here.
Yeah, keep in mind last week, Brick, he did go 2 and 3, so he did take two stocks, lost 3, so had an okay performance. Not sure entirely who he played, but this is a different animal in Brawly here. I think just the absolute rushdown nature of Roy, as well as just the rushdown nature of Brawly and the way he has his play style as a player. It's going to be one of those things where we're going to see, hey, is that zone wall going to absolutely keep him out, or is he going to break it down? I think we're going to see almost a one-way match, one way or the other here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come down to who has the better matchup knowledge in this situation. So, Broly definitely looking like he's doing everything he can to make sure that Samus stays off the stage, and that's exactly what you want, because that's what leads to stocks and keeps them from being able to charge up that charge shot. So, definitely good play coming out from Brawly here. Oh, keeping aggressive off the stage still, looking for that dunk, but not going to be able to find it.
I really like what we saw in that last stock. We saw the patience from Brawly. He got the jab, and typically when you see Roy's get a jab, you think no matter what, a forward air is going to be coming. It is such a bread and butter combo, but he knew. He's like, I don't know if I have it. He backed off, took a breath, saw that he had a good ledge trap, and ended up taking the stock on calling out the roll and finishing that one off.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he still has to do everything he can in order to live, but finally going to be able to take a stock here. But sitting at 134%, that is not where you want to be against Roy.
Just look at him standing there menacingly, waiting for you to get back to the stage. Again, the jab recovers aggressively with the forward air, catching him with it over the ledge. Not going to be as aggressive this time. Again, with the jab, we're not seeing those forward airs. We're not seeing those combos. I think he just knows he's going to pop him up a little bit too far. He's got too much percent. Dark Samus is a little too light, so he's being really smart with his choices.
Yeah, I think he's hoping for that air dodge, but Baltic definitely doing a good job being patient here and not using it every time that he gets knocked up by that jab.
You gotta wonder though, he keeps throwing the jab out there.
Yep.
It's not killing. He's putting a lot of percent onto him. But you gotta wonder, is he gonna go for the kill move here? You gotta wonder, is he playing games here? Is he memeing? Is he taunting a little bit? Because that's all we've seen. We've seen a ridiculous amount of that jab.
I mean, if he can get him up to 800%-ish, I think he might be able to kill with the jab, but up throw definitely going to kill sooner, so finally finding the opening he needed in order to finish that off, or at least pulling the trigger finally.
And now we're seeing a little bit more coming out of Broly's neutral here, but it's let himself get up to over 130% on that when he just was putting on jab after jab of him, really not showing down some of those rush down capabilities that Roy possesses. So again, just wondering what his thought process is a little bit.
Yeah, and that's given Baltic an opening here to even up the stock, so still a glimmer of hope for Kettering here to try and keep this game alive, but definitely a large hill to climb, that's for sure.
Getting through the smart bomb, gets caught with a back air while he's trying to land on the platform. Gets a good jab in. Try to chase him down. Neutral air. Oh, follows up, jumps off the ledge with a counter, but not gonna fall for it.
Yeah, yep. That's always the worst thing. You're trying to escape out of that side B if you're near the tip of it, but then you end up holding out and getting hit by that last hit, and that'll just send you straight into the blast zone every time.
Yep. Part of me wants to say, wow, I'm surprised that killed, but then you just gotta remember how strong Roy is with that sword.
Absolutely, and definitely relentless with it as well. Broly just pushing and pushing just to close out the victory for Oakland University here in the first match of this evening. So definitely a strong showing from the Golden Grizzlies.
Yep, and Broly coming out strong, taking 3 stocks from Taking 3 stocks from Brick. I'm sorry, not Brick, from Baltic. And yeah, Oakland wins that one 7-0, keeping 7 of their stocks, dropping all of Kettering's 12. So a good, strong win. Oakland University moves to 3-0. They will be playing again later tonight. And they will be playing against, of course, I don't have my schedule up. I thought it was on this tab, but it was not. So I apologize. I'll grab that here for you shortly. They are going to be playing again tonight against Michigan State. So that is going to be a tough one for them.
Yeah, definitely a lot of strong players in that pool there that they have to pull from. So might not be as easy of a time that time around. So definitely going to have to keep their wits about them.
Yeah, Michigan State currently playing Ferris State University right now over on the Tech Chase GG. Check that out. But they were 2-0 going into last week as well. I'm sorry, going into this week as well. So really strong from that team. I'd assume playing Ferris, they should come out on top of that one. We'll see if an upset happens, but we might see a battle of undefeated going into their next match, the Oakland University versus Michigan State University match coming up here shortly. But I really strong showing. Was there anything that stuck out to you? Anything that you liked in that first matchup we saw?
Saturn definitely, I think, took the spotlight there for a good majority of that matchup. Coming in for the first time in this event and just showing what they can do, constant peppering with the side Bs, the Zares, and the PK freezes were definitely on point, catching a lot of players off guard and off stage. So definitely a strong start for them.
Yeah, set the tone for sure, getting that one out strong, taking 7 stocks, like you said, just really making a strong case, and yeah, you got to say probably the MVP of that match when it all comes down to it. So really good job on him. So we are going to have more action coming to you guys shortly here. Our next match on stream, we are going to be seeing the Central Michigan University Chippewas taking on the Concordia University Ann Arbor Cardinals. That one should be a good one. In week 1, Central beat Kettering. I'm sorry, Central beat Ferris State and Kettering, and Concordia, they lost to MSU and Oakland. So kind of like this match. Where we didn't really know what to expect out of Kettering because we didn't know especially what to expect out of Kettering. They were 0-2, but at the same time, they lost to some of the stronger opponents in week 1. Oakland came out and is making a case. Well, hey, we're a strong opponent too. We're gonna come out and play real hard against you. But Concordia, in that same vein, they lost to MSU and Oakland, who we just saw. So they might be 0-2. But what does 0-2 mean when you only have 2 losses and they're two really strong undefeated teams?
Means that you have a lot that you want to improve still. So going into this week, they're definitely going to be looking to put on a good show like Yoder was able to in that week 1 with those Luigi combos, like you mentioned in the pregame.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely going to be one that the Concordia U is going to be looking to give them a good, strong start. Jay Gordy might be another one to keep an eye on, able to take 5 stocks in that week 1 despite dropping 6 himself, but still overall not a bad ratio to have for a crew battle. As long as you can rate evenly, you're doing your job.
Yeah, like you said, Jay Goody, the young freshman, strong ZSS talent. That matchup is always one that's tough. I think a lot of people don't have the character knowledge for Zero Suit, and her movement options are just a little wonky at times. Throw out things you're not really expecting. Down B is crazy. You get caught with an up B when you're not expecting it. It's a whole lot stronger than you think. And my God, how many moves does she have that's safe on shield?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those matchups that you need to know what that character can do. Otherwise, you're just going to get caught off guard left and right.
Right. So
on the flip side, CMU definitely coming in strong this week. Like you said, coming off some good wins from last week over Ferris State and Kettering. Who are you looking to show their stuff this week?
Superhero, for sure. I guess I didn't check out the other stream since I've been here, but last week Superhero was unable to make the stream or I'm sorry, the his match last week or last Saturday had some personal things going on. So they were without arguably their best player. So I'd imagine Superhero is going to be playing well, going to be hungry just to make sure CMU keeps the tone and people understand their dominance here in Tech Chase.
Absolutely. Definitely one of the players that has been on the PR as well a few times here in Michigan. But in his absence, Prod definitely stepping up to the plate with his Weave Fit, showing what they can do. 14 stocks taken. That is not a number to scoff at.
No.
Definitely showing that they can put in the work.
Yeah, he up there for probably the most stocks taken in the week. I'm not sure. I can go back and check, but there may be some close. I know Hawk last week, I believe he took 12. Granted, all 12 were against one opponent. He just cleaned someone out, which was nuts. But yeah, Prod definitely putting on a good showing. Took 14 stocks, lost 5 of his own as a 2.8 kill death ratio. So looking real strong heading in here. And Column, definitely a player not to scoff at either. So between those three alone, and then add Silent Bean and Hayes in there too. Yeah, they're a strong squad, and they're a senior squad as well. A team of 3 seniors and 2 juniors. They have the experience. They know what they're doing here. And then you take a look over at Concordia. They're a little bit younger. Jay Goody, the freshman, a couple of sophomores, a senior and a junior. So they got some young talent going against some guys a little bit more veteran here in the game.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be one of those interesting things to see play out because you always hear the talk about the younger players versus the older players. You have the more experienced players with the knowledge and the skill base to fall back on, but for those younger players, they got the fast movement and quick reactions. So it's always interesting to see how those two aspects of a player's skill just clash against each other in a battle of the old guard versus the new faces.
Got the young buck reflexes going on there. But
Exactly.
can we take a moment to look at your tie? Can you move a little closer to the camera and show that thing off? I love it.
Let
Look
me
at
just
that.
stand up a little bit here.
Look at that. Wow.
Bit all the way down.
Wow. I want one.
Yeah, I don't know where to get this tie now because this was a ThinkGeek tie, and unfortunately, I think they've been absorbed into GameStop, if I'm not mistaken. So that would probably be the best location to try and find this tie if you wanted to get one for yourself.
Yeah, it's like one of. So we are going to let you guys go. We're going to take a short break. Thank you for joining us and watching match number 1. We are going to take a short break before heading back here for match number 2. We're going to see Central take on Concordia. Stick around. We'll be back shortly.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the Tech Chase Majors. I'm Scooter388, and Craig here commentating with me. We are bringing you more action tonight. Concordia University of Ann Arbor versus the Central Michigan University. Definitely going to be a lot on display here tonight. Yoder coming in from Concordia University last week as Luigi, putting on a show. 7 stocks taken overall, and getting a lip call out from Elegant for the skill he put on display. Definitely going to be interesting to watch them. Craig, what's your opinion on their opponents for Central Michigan University?
Yeah, so Central, absolutely one of the strongest teams coming into this season. They are being led by essentially their captain, superhero, who is considered one of Michigan's best, not just Central's best, but one of Michigan's best. And he has done last week, unfortunately, he was unable to make it. And this week, not the best start he wanted to have. He ended up actually losing 3 stocks. He got 3 stocked in his first appearance. Granted, he got 3 stocked by Bess Ness, who is considered probably the best player in this league, and not only the best player in this league, but considered probably the best player when it comes to Wi-Fi play. So not necessarily embarrassing to have that happen to you, but at the same time, not the start you want when you're coming into this league for your first matchup. But he's going to be coming in hot, looking to make a statement, looking to make up for maybe what happened last match. And on paper, I think Central is supposed to win this one, but I think Concordia's got a good, strong team led by their captain Yoder. Really strong Luigi, had some pretty sick clips last week. Like you said, getting a call out, a shout out from Elegant. A little bit of taunting, little bit of trickery, little bit of Luigi action, and just some of those awesome combos he can do. We're going to be keeping an eye out for that one to see if he can pull off any more clips coming into this week.
Absolutely, but for CMU, Prod coming in from that first week, definitely going to be somebody that they can rely on to get the job done. 14 stocks taken overall as We Fit trainer. That is definitely one of the highest stocks taken to stocks lost ratios that we've seen on this stream tonight.
Yeah, it really is. And keep in mind, that is from last week. We do not have stats pulled up right now from their match. They just played against Davenport last hour, but last week, Prod, one of the MVPs of the week, just really, really strong showing. 14 stocks taken, only 5 stocks lost, 2.8 KDR on his end, so he's looking really good. And Calm, another one who is really strong too. 4 stocks taken to 3 stocks lost, and Silent Bean, 6 stocks taken to 4 stocks lost last week. So they came in this week hot. They are kind of considered to be the number 3-ish, team in a stack rank, in a power ranking coming into the league. You pretty much thought of Michigan State as 1, Davenport as 2, and Central as 3. Now, Central has played Davenport quite a bit in some crew battles. They do some friendlies. They have played a bit, but just when it mattered, when it came down to it, when it came to league showdown, Davenport's the one that came out on top. But still, real strong showing. Looking to just continue some of their march forward. Going to take on Concordia here shortly.
Yeah, and Concordia looking to try and make things start to move for themselves because they had some trouble versus MSU and Oakland in the first week, so hopefully they'll be able to find some better luck this week against Central Michigan University. And in addition to Yoder, you got Jay Goody, DSS, also one of the stronger players for their team, looking to try and make more of a name for themselves this week. Only taken 5 stocks last week, but as long as you're close to even, in my book, that's pretty decent for a crew battle. So it'll be interesting how they are able to play this week going up against a team as strong as Central Michigan University.
Yep, and the first player that Central's going to be throwing out is going to be Silent Bean and his Ganon, going to be taking on Concordia's Gossman and Felco. So you said it earlier, kind of fast Velco versus slow Velco. Maybe not so much anymore, but I think this is an interesting matchup.
Yep, so in a moment here, we'll have this match on screen for you to enjoy here as we get things underway for Central Michigan University versus Concordia University.
Here we go. Let's see where they ended up going in the first match of the night.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard PS2 earlier from...
Yep.
There it is.
There it is. The gentleman stage, PS2, starting out.
Yep, and starting right off the bat, it looks like Gossman looking to slow this match down in order to set the tone and pacing with that Falco laser, and that is definitely a great zoning tool that Falco has.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it has a feel like it's the perfect amount of knockback to damage just to really slow the pace down, to take a charging Ganondorf at you and just slow him down enough for you just to keep control of the match.
Yeah, because if you don't slow him down, this happens. This happens. This character, you cannot let him get in because Ganondorf can absolutely destroy you in just 4 or 5 hits.
Only 10% was put onto Gossman's Ganondorf, Silent Bean's Ganondorf out of all of that last stock, but coming off that spawn platform hot, ended up putting another 52 on him pretty quickly here. So this game has been almost fairly one-sided in stock number 1, but Gossman trying to turn that around here, second life.
Good patience from Silent Bean there, waiting for the follow-up hit on shield because that Falco Fair does have a landing hitbox, so being aware of that and keeping the shield up, definitely giving him an opening there, but see if that opening can develop into a little bit more before he loses a stock. No, it cannot.
Good strong call out, seeing him coming out of that platform and throwing up that up smash, caught him on it and ended up taking the stock. 90% on him, and 90% is now down to 0 because there goes his second stock. Silent Bean off to a strong start.
Yeah, just a lot of these callouts on Gossman's movement have just been paying off in spades here, and Ganondorf is definitely one of those characters that absolutely capitalizes on reads, so the more you can figure out your opponent, the better this character will do.
Barely getting with the tip of that foot from that forward tilt, giving him enough space just to kind of rush down, set the tone. Really doing a good job of winning neutral here, except when this happens. That's one thing Falco can do. You get caught in one of those up tilts, and he can keep that string going for a while.
Yeah, and the ability to just keep those aerial combos going is what Gossman needs in order to start racking up enough percent to get Ganondorf into kill percent. Because the problem is, if you let him live too long with rage, you're going to be dying even earlier.
We're seeing a lot of games of chicken here being played. A lot of the game on stage has been both players running at each other, dash dancing, moving back, waiting for the other one to come in and strike.
Oh, able to tech the up B out of Ganondorf, but Silent Being still able to make it back to the stage here.
Thought he was going to get in from that with B, but ended up hitting shield, meets a neutral, gets caught with the Cyclone. Forward air.
Then off stage again here. Gossman just going to go for the ledge coverage here, trying to keep him just at that ledge and not any stage, but the problem is you don't want to get overly aggressive and put yourself in a bad spot because with full rage, Ganondorf can absolutely kill Falco right now.
Oh, for sure. That is a scary sight, just Ganondorf smoking at the bottom of your screen.
Yep, but fortunately Gossman able to close that out, finding the opening with the back air coming down onto him, and looking to rack up a bit more percentage here, forcing Silent Bean to the edge, but the problem is the percent has been racked up. He has to be careful here.
Doing a good job waiting him out, and I feel like we're seeing Silent Bean playing a little bit more cautious, but he finds a way in with the dash attack, sends him up through the roof, and there it does it. CMU is up 10 stocks to Concordia's 9.
That was one of those dash attacks where it looks like it shouldn't actually get the kill just because of how late that hit was, but that move maintains that strength, and Ganondorf definitely one of those powerhouse characters to be able to abuse those percentages.
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary spot to be just up there in percentage against a Ganondorf, especially someone like Silent Bean who knows what they're doing with Ganondorf, knows how to manipulate you, knows how to get some good strong reads. I don't think we saw any smash attack kills from Ganondorf there. A lot of Ganons will rely on that sword, but it doesn't seem like Silent Bean did so.
Yeah, most of the stocks that he took were either from the dash attacks or just going off stage with those fairs in order to close out the stocks, but that opening stock, I think, is what really set the tone between those two, because being able to take a stock that early and only have 10% on yourself in a crew battle, that is a godsend when every stock matters so much, because every stock you save is one taken onto your next opponent.
Yep. So Silent Bean's going to be coming in, has one stock left after dropping 2. Pretty even match going into it so far. It's what you like to see. If you are going to drop one, if you are Concordia, it might as well drop it like that after taking 2 stocks. Concordia actually only has 3 players this week, though. So turns out they are sacrificing 3 stocks. So they could not get a full team to show up. So they only have 6 stocks left. So they're coming in at a disadvantage already. So yeah, that was a good way to lose it, but you didn't want to lose it if you're already them coming in with a handicap.
Yeah, and this is definitely going to put them in an even worse spot, but Jay Goody going to be stepping up to the plate here with the ZSS. Hopefully going to be able to save as many stocks as possible against Silent Bean here.
Bean taking his 2 stocks, but yes, Jay Goody is here. We're going to wait it out. We got 14 seconds left before these 2 players get at it.
Yep, so Silent Bean definitely has his work cut out for him as far as being able to pin down Jay Goody to get those kind of reads he was getting before, because ZSS is no stranger to movement. So it'll be interesting to see how Silent Bean is able to adapt to this even faster character. And the answer is by pummeling them mercilessly.
Yeah, it looks like the same start out as last time. Just no fear, just going in hard, going in hot.
Silent Bean starting to fall back a little bit here as Jay Goody tries to get some offense mounted here. The whip definitely helping out here, because anytime you can get a little bit of extra range on Ganondorf, you're going to want to take full advantage of that.
Being good, nice and patient on the ledge, using that flip kick to recover safely, going up above Ganondorf. Dodging through the grab, gets a grab of his own, charging up. Laser tries with a down smash, but not going to roll into it.
Yeah, too far away from the ledge to be able to cover every option, and unfortunately dying to a dash attack there. Silent Bean more than making up for his stocks here. 4 taken so far.
That was like the same thing we saw him end the last one with, that dash attack hit, and then by the time he died, it's like, really?
Catches him out, but not enough percent on Ganondorf. He is a heavy man. If you want to be able to knock him away, it's going to take more than that.
That's a tough spot to be, and I think he caught him with the very top of that boost kick. So this one, though, catching the entire way through on the ledge of the platform, going to finish it off. Good showing there. That is what needed to happen if you wanted to stay any bit of competitive. It is a tough spot to be if you are Concordia, already starting out down 3 stocks. I mean, hey, if they had a full roster, they'd only be down 1 right now.
Yeah, that is true. But unfortunately, if you can't field the full team, you're going to be at the disadvantage anyway, so they're going to have to pull as much as they can out of these next few stocks in order to try and even it up. But Jay Goody, only losing 1 there, still has 2 more to work with here against the future opponent, so it'll be on CMU to figure out who they send in here to continue trying to just close that opening that they have to try and make a comeback.
Yeah, league rules do allow for every team to have 5 players on it, even though only 4 players play. Just for situations like this, if you have someone who maybe has class, something comes up, whatever, you know, hey, okay, we can you can still field a full team. But in unfortunate situations like this, where you drop 2 or more than that, your only option is just to play down some stocks, you know, or forfeit. I'm glad they decided to play it out. Good on them. So. It looks like Superhero is coming up next. Like we said last time, he ended up getting 3-0'd by BestNet. So he has yet to take a stock in this league after getting 3-0'd in his match earlier and missing week number 1. So he's going to come in hungry.
Yeah, definitely not a player to count out, though. Been on Michigan's PR multiple times. So you got to keep your eye on him, because if he's able to get going, he is able to abuse Fox's speed to take the stocks that he needs. So it's definitely going to be a battle of the movement here between ZSS and Fox, because both those characters have so much speed behind them that it's going to be difficult for both of them to catch up to each other.
Yeah, this is going to be a match of who's going to start to learn the other characters and get some reads. Who has maybe the matchup knowledge, because I think that's critical for when you play Fox. You know, he's a fast faller. He's very mobile, and he really makes his way by doing some dash dancing, getting in, getting out, making you guess, hey, I'm going to move in. You think you have a smash attack? No, you don't. I'm getting away from you and then coming in and kicking you. You think you're going to be able to up smash me? No, you don't. I hit a double jump. Now I'm going to fast fall and kick you in the face. So we'll see how.
Yeah, and then you think you're going to be
talk about
commentating Fox, and he throws you for a loop, and you get a Roy.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. But
We try and hype things up, and they just got to throw curveballs at us. I see how it is.
not a fairly similar character in their playstyle. It's essentially a character that still wants to rush you down and sacrifices a little bit of speed just for a little bit of strength. Definitely has more kill options, not quite as fast, but I have not seen Superheroes Roy.
Well, if he's able to control it as well as his Fox, it's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with, and having disjoints to work with is definitely going to make the spacing game a little bit easier against ZSS's own Plasma Whip that she has.
Yep. I wonder if this pick is a pick just because Fox is not one that's fun to play on Wi-Fi, which is how precise you need to be with inputs and how lag, any sort of input lag, makes that harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, that is true, and that is one of the interesting things about these events, because a lot of the tier lists that people keep for offline tournaments don't necessarily apply for online. So
No.
I wouldn't blame Superhero for wanting to go Roy instead of Fox, because like you said, definitely a timing intensive character.
Right. So right now, losing the percent battle, but essentially when it comes down to weight, they might as well be even. But both really strong heavy hitters, both have strong kill moves. I think that Superhero has found himself in disadvantage a whole lot more than he would have liked to or thought he would be going into this match.
Yeah, definitely needs to find some way to get in here, and the shield stare down. Both of them just withdrawing, but Jay Goody finding the opening afterwards in order to take that stock. So Superhero going to answer right back with the side B on that shield, though. So one stock taken apiece.
As the Plasma gets crab out of shield, clanking on that neutral exchange, hopping over to Roy, trying a down smash, but not going to connect with it, and just real quick with those boots, real fast with those tilts, just doing a good job of keeping Superhero away when he needs to.
Yeah, and that can definitely be difficult because those tilts and the Zares as well, just so difficult for characters to be able to move in on because of the amount of space it covers. So Superhero definitely having his work cut out for him as far as finding openings he needs, but here's one right now, but not able to capitalize on it too much, and actually ends up on the ledge himself.
Using the Plasma weapon, he's Jay Goody has really gone for that option and the get up, just the down smash. Is that the down smash with the plasma cannon pointed at the ground there? Yeah.
Yep, that would be it. And that side B is going to be it for that stock. So Superhero able to come in and clean up the two stocks of Jay Goody, but losing one himself. So sets up the CMU team with 8 stocks to CUAA's last 3 stocks here.
So I am not sure who is left for Concordia. So there's only one person sitting with the controller ready to go. If you're Concordia, really hoping it's Yoder just to have any chance of pulling this one out. Not looking good for them either way, but they have gone down Jay Goody and Gossman, and 2 of the 3 left, either Smitty, Cloud, or Yoder. 2 of those 3 are not here. So one of them is going to be coming in, and we'll find out shortly and let you know as soon as we know.
Yeah, but for Superhero, definitely a better showing for him. One that I think he would have preferred to have in the first game that they played tonight, but at least getting a few stocks here against Concordia U. So Superhero's Roy, not too shabby, I will say. Able to get the movement, find the openings he needs, and definitely able to abuse that side B to get the kills.
Get into it. We are going to see Yoder. He is going to anchor for Concordia. They're down to their last 3 stocks. Essentially, CMU's best versus Concordia's best. The Luigi versus Roy on PS2.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Superhero, if I remember correctly, this is one of the characters that he does not enjoy fighting at all. Because he just doesn't like...
Does anyone play against Luigi? You know what? I think he's a really honest, fun character to play against. I don't know. Oh, okay. Scooter
I
apparently.
do, because I'm Belmont. I just keep him at width length and just chuck things at him. What's he gonna do?
Okay.
He's honestly on the other side of the stage. See? Honest.
All right, we are getting into it here, and just the
Ooh.
starting out strong, getting him with a couple jabs, reading and roll back, and getting a strong forward smash. 48% already onto Yoder.
Yeah,
But-
and Superhero not relenting with this offense here, but the Cyclone able to get you out of a combo, but leaves you fairly open afterwards if you don't get the knockaway hit. So Yoder definitely in a difficult bind here percentage-wise.
Gets him off the ledge with the Cyclone, tries to follow up as Superhero returns to the stage. Side B is not going to connect, but the head is in the up smash, getting a few percent, trying to bring this one back as best as he can. Luigi is one of those strange characters where, you talk like, oh, he don't need
You
to
get a grab and you get the up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, fortunately in that 60% range, because that's where the Luigi's last stand for those down throw combos is, because if you're in that range, that's just a free down throw into up B, so you have to be careful at that percentage still.
Doing a good job keeping his spacing, trying to put just enough percent on him to get that grab combo again, but this should kill. Yep, through the roof, Star Shot KO. One stock taken each, but Superhero down to his last. Yoder still with 2 left, and 57% onto Superhero now, and Yoder trying to add to that.
Yeah, and Yoder just clanking with all these moves, able to at least keep the percentage rising on Superhero, but Superhero opting to slow it down here for a moment. Maybe wait. I think Yoder's like, no, you come over here. I will camp you out.
The funny thing about Wi-Fi play too is like you never know. It's like, is this like the camping showdown standoff, or is this like both players deciding they want to like kind of test some lag real quick?
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is be the one approaching Luigi, because like we saw there, one errant smash attack on a shield or aerial that does not have enough frame data is just going to get you up smash. So Yoder able to keep it alive for Concordia U here. Only 2 stocks left, but still 2 stocks is better than no stocks.
So did was that 3 stocks taken for Superhero?
Yes, that
remember.
should have been, because I believe Jay Goody had 2 stocks going into that match against Superhero. So yeah, that should be 3 stocks taken overall.
Yep. So Yoder still has quite a lot of work to do. 6 left. He has 2. Not impossible. I mean, we've seen crazier stuff. Not only in this space, but in this tournament and this league. I'm sorry, but just in crew battles all around. You've seen top players do really well, take a whole lot of stocks. I played in a crew battle where our best player ended up taking 8. So we got Column coming up here next. His performance in week number 1 was a pretty strong showing. He took 4 stocks, lost 3 for a 1.3 KDR. Coming into this week, not sure exactly what he did in his match prior to this one, but he is the junior, the Rob main for the Chippewas.
Yep, and Rob, one of those matchups that can be difficult for Luigi, because once that gyro gets on the ground, it forces Luigi to try and jump over it, and that makes his movement so much slower. So Yoder's definitely got his work cut out for him to find those grabs, but we are not seeing the Rob. We are actually going to see a Mii Brawler.
And just love to see it. And he's got the one of my favorite things about the Mii is just like what costume are you wearing? That's one thing you get on that's one thing you get in person, or I'm sorry, in Wi-Fi tournaments you don't get it in person. Because if you are a Mii player, you're stuck with like whatever the other person had on their Switch. You don't get your own stuff. And also, like, are you really going to take, like, the 30 minutes to, like, set up the Mii exactly the way you want to? No, you're not typically in person. But here in Wi-Fi, it all comes out. You get to see all the Miis.
Yep, and fortunately for Colm, able to find a way out of that combo, because that is one of the most terrifying things when you're fighting Luigi. You get caught at 0% in a grab against Luigi. It's like, is this my death? Is this where I die?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he needed a stronger punish there.
All he got was the coin of shame and a few regrets from Yoder.
Yeah. The coin of shame. Oh, that did not kill.
Ooh, Fireball actually gonna stop that flip from making it back onto the stage here, but Home definitely at a high percent has to be careful with this stock right now.
For sure, but also, I mean, if you're Yoder, you're a little frustrated now because you feel like you've had this stock for a while now. You feel like you had it back at 30 when you only had 30% on you, but now you're up over 100, and you need to take early stocks if you have any chance of bringing this back. If you have any chance of making this competitive. Oh, yeah, just a little bit too far. Gimped him, and man, I cannot believe Column took that first stock with how this started out.
Yeah, that is one of the downsides of Luigi. His recovery is so slow, and if you have a projectile that can arc downwards, it makes that recovery even more difficult. So being able to just throw that cannonball down there relentlessly just made it difficult for Yoder, but the Cyclone coming out in order to take that stock there, so 2 stocks left on Colm right now.
Gets the grab from the center stage, tries to get the combo, follows up, gets another grab to continue it.